Hey everybody, it's your captain here. Come to give my thoughts on a few things. Just a couple things actually. First, I want to give my thoughts on some of these internet trolls I've been hearing so much about. Why did I just do a country accent? Whatever. Um, and the fact that they're planning to what was the fucking I don't know, give the bad review scores to Black Panther and how ridiculous that is. And then I also want to talk about that new Venom trailer that just dropped. So for starters, I'm going to start with the trolls and how these people, these fucking fucks, like, do you not have anything better to do with your time? Apparently not. And why? You claim to be hardcore DC fans. I don't believe you for a single fucking second that you are any kind of hardcore fan of anything. Because you know what? Fans of stuff don't waste their time and energy tearing down other fans of stuff. Alright? We love, being a part of this nerd community that we are a part of. And we want to support each other. Be like, hey, you're getting a good movie? Awesome. That's great. It's a shame that none of mine have turned out that good yet, but just you wait. No, that's not the mentality we're getting, like, oh, the Disney Corporation is paying these people to give us good reviews. No, okay? Disney has much better things and time and fucking whatever to be spending their money on than telling reviewers to give them good reviews. You know what it probably is? They're spending their money on making good movies. Yeah. Wow, what a revolutionary idea. Like, what? That's a thing? That can be a thing? Like, we could just make good movies? We can't just put the IP in the fucking movie and hope that everybody comes in? Listen, I know a lot of you guys are disappointed with the fact that a lot of the current DC movies have gotten bad reviews. Alright? And that Justice League, while not a complete box office bomb by movie standards, still technically in the eyes of Warner Brothers bombed because it didn't make $1 billion like they wanted. But they have proven that they can make good movies. Look at Wonder Woman. I know you're probably tired of hearing that, but look at Wonder Woman. That is a DCEU, or whatever you guys are calling it, movie, and it is actually legitimately good. All right, because they put people behind the project that were passionate about the project, that wanted to put forth effort into the project, and got quality. They were like, all right, instead of trying to jam in all this extra stuff, all this lore and whatnot and tie everything into other stuff, let's just focus on making a good movie. And hey, you know who's been doing that from the fucking beginning? Marvel. Wow, what a surprise. And who's been getting great reviews? And to be fair, not every Marvel movie is great. Okay, I know the go-to for a lot of people are Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2, and I will give you that those movies are not all that great, but they are still entertaining to watch. As far as the DCEU movies go, the only ones I went out of my way to watch are Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Wonder Woman. I never watched Suicide Squad, and I will watch Justice League eventually. I lost so much interest in seeing it, and it was just I was not hyped for it. I am a comic fan. I want to see these characters on screen, and I want to see them done well. And everything I've heard about these things, just it took it out of me, and I don't want that. I want to be like, yeah, I want to see Superman punching guys and the Flash running around. So for you to sit there and say, well, this is what it'll show them, we're gonna give them a bad user review on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like, you guys just don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works, does it? You think Rotten Tomatoes is to blame for your bad reviews, when all the Rotten Tomatoes does is take the reviews of other people and put them in one place. And then it's an accumulative score based on whether or not the people who were reviewing it gave it a good review. If you actually look closer at Rotten Tomatoes, you would see that, like, someone might say the movie was fresh but not give it a very high score. Like, I can't remember what the thing is called, but and then another person might say a movie was rotten, but it still gets a relatively good score. Excuse me. Point is tearing something down, especially something like Black Panther, something that a lot of people have been waiting for, and there's all the cultural hype behind it and whatnot. Tearing it down is not going to do anything except prove that you're a piece of shit. So instead of being mad at Marvel for doing a good job, maybe you should be mad at DC and Warner Brothers for not striving to do better, because we know they can. All right, they absolutely could do this right if they would just put forth the time and effort and stop trying to jam in so much extra shit. You know what they need? They need a guy like Kevin Feige running the ship who's going to keep everything in a general direction without, having an iron fist over it. They give him, I say this like he's the one calling all the shots, and I'm sure he calls the majority of them, but it's not just him. But he gives his people a lot of creative control, all right, and says, listen, this is the general direction of where we're going with our films, but we still want you to make your movie. And guess what? They get good results. Wow, what a surprise. If you just back off a little bit, let your creators create and be artistic and all that good stuff, maybe, just maybe, you'll get some quality stuff. So all you internet trolls out there that are all pissy about this shit going down, I say enough. Give it up. Stop being so whiny. All right. DC will get its time to shine. All right. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're one of those, let's fucking Rotten Tomato this shit, whatever, you are not a real fan. And I don't give a fuck what you have to say to me about it. I don't consider you a real fan. You're not a fan of anything. You're a fan of chaos. That's what you're a fan of. A chaos. A chaos? Whatever. You're a fan of just tearing things down. Alright? That's all you get off on, is tearing shit down, and you can go fuck yourself. Alright? Alright. Wow, I was a little bit more passionate about that than I realized. But I digress. Be constructive, not destructive. Now that that's out of my system, let's move on to a subject that a lot of people seem to be split on. And, to be fair, rightly so, that new Venom trailer that just dropped during, was it the Super Bowl? Or after the Super Bowl? I don't remember. It was fairly recently, a couple days ago. Whatever. I watched it a handful of times, and I will say, the first time I watched it, I was not overly impressed. I didn't think it was the worst thing out there, but it's like what everyone else is thinking, like, why are you gonna play a Venom trailer and not show Venom? And yeah, you certainly got a point. But at the same time, I kind of, like, after watching it a few times, it seems like Sony's trying to establish a tone more than just show you what the movie is or what it's going to be. They want you to just kind of get a feel for it, like this is not your bright and shiny Marvel movie, which Fox did well with Logan, but this is going to be a different kind of thing. From what I've heard, they're basing this off of the Lethal Protector series, which is like one of a handful of comic book series that I actually have every issue of. And it's not the most groundbreaking comic series ever, but it's certainly like the go-to Venom series out there that a lot of people seem to turn to when singing the praises of Venom. And excuse me. while Venom is one of my personal favorite Spider-Man villains, I do see how a lot of people, especially older fans, are put off by him. The whole just evil version of Spider-Man and all that stuff. Like, okay, cool, we get it. Spider-Man does have some better villains, like the Green Goblin, like Doc Ock, but we've seen them to death, and the only movie Venom we've ever gotten is that terrible, terrible Topher Grace Venom. So, and I will say that when they first announced that Tom Hardy was going to be Eddie Brock, I was like, okay, you have my attention. Because when they said, "Oh, we're making a rated R Venom movie," I'm like, ugh, really? You're just taking advantage of how well Deadpool and Logan did, aren't you? Aren't you? Admit it, you bastards. But then Tom Hardy joined the project, and he is a quality actor. And not to say that quality actors don't do crappy movies, but he seems like the type that wouldn't just sign on for a paycheck. He doesn't need it. But the trailer itself does kind of establish its tone of, you can sense that Brock is a man that's just trying to find his place in the world, that has a dark past, and just I don't know, I can't tell if he's out for redemption or if he just wants to figure out who he is, but I am kind of curious. And if they're basing it off the Lethal Protector comics, or depending on how closely it's tied together, it'll be interesting to see if they bring in the, oh god, and I really should do my research before recording these things, because I don't know, that rich dude that built a bunch of weapons and gave them to a crew of military people to hunt down Venom. I don't remember who they were or what that team was called. Like, it was like the Judge or something. I don't know, but I remember it being pretty entertaining. And then them capturing the symbiote and extracting all of Venom's future children from it, and then merging those symbiotes with their own people, and those symbiotes like going crazy, and Venom and Spider-Man teaming up to take them down. I think Carnage made an appearance. It has been a long time since I've read that comic. But Lethal Protector is definitely a good place to start if you're going to start anywhere, because he's still figuring out who he is. If he wants to do good in the world, he just doesn't know how to really be good. I'm kind of hoping that the rumors that Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to make an appearance in this film, because I would love for it all to tie together. I'm not getting my hopes up. Honestly, at this point, I just want Sony to make a good movie. That's all I've ever really wanted is from these things, is for them to just be good movies. And, give me a badass Venom. That's it. That's all I want. So, here's hoping. Alright, guys. Well, guys and girls, whoever, people who decided to click on this and listen, I appreciate that you came here to listen to me ramble on about things. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and thanks for listening.